Hello, I just wanted to do a quick follow-up from my last video. I want to share something with you that about 10 years ago I found out about this. It isn't going to change your life, it didn't change mine, but I'm hoping it will change your perspective, or at least how you think about the world, reality, that kind of thing. Don't get put off by me being, I was wary of using the word reality. But this is just a very simple thing to show you that explains how fucked up shit really is. And as I say, in with the idea of going back and looking at the first video I did, you think, well, if that's so fucked up, maybe that's not so fucked up. That's the hope. So I'm going to share this. It's an experiment. It's called the double slit experiment. It's very simple to understand what happens. No one has a fucking clue why it happens, why the result comes back. And this, again, it will probably change the way you think about things. Again, it's not going to change your life. What I was talking about in the last one fucking will. This ain't going to change your life, but it's going to help you to, again, imagine that this is possible. And I like imagination. Got to keep your imagination, bro. So I'm using Photoshop, and right, okay, so what I said, yeah, the double slit experiment. I'll show you how that works. And when we get to what happens, you're going to be like, are you fucking serious? Excuse me. So imagine over here, we have a meticulously drawn gun. Excuse me. But it's firing marbles, right? Little marbles. MG42 style. It's firing marbles, but they're actually, in the experiment, they're electrons. So we'll just call it electron gun, but just think about them as marbles. It's fine. They're firing that gun at a wall here, which if you look at it from the front, has one slit in the middle. So all this is wall, excuse me, and there's a gap in the middle. And behind that wall is a detector, which is, again, you can look at it like this. It's just flat on. So when you fire these marbles, electrons, just remember they're electrons, but I'll just call them marbles. When you fire these marbles through this single slit, you get what you would likely expect, which is, you know, a pattern. Again, this detector is, these points are where each one of these individual electrons, marbles, eventually hit. They hit at this point, this point, this point, this point, this point. Now I'm thinking. So this is the pattern they get. It seems that all the electrons, marbles that went through, pretty much landed here. Some of them bounced off, but when they did go through, they pretty much ended in this pattern. Now it gets fucking weird. Okay, so what happens when you put a second slit into the wall? I'll tell you what happens. A whole load of crazy shit. As I say, it's seemingly such a simple thing to be doing, chucking marbles through a fucking couple of holes in the wall. But what happens? But again, remind yourself, they're actually electrons, subatomic particles. So here we go. We want to add a second slit, and we want to do the same experiment. Chuck loads of marbles, electrons at these slits. Get the detector. Have a butcher's. What happens? I'll show you what you're thinking if you've never heard of this experiment. You are, hang on a minute, let me just put a load of dots on a separate layer, just because I'm going to need I'm going to need a lot of dots in a bit. Bear with me, this will take seconds. I just need some dots, and now I can shut up. What's wrong with you? Come on. Okay, just making me some dots. Okay, right, now I can use that. So these two slits, you would expect, this being the detector, for this to happen. Of course, it makes sense. Two holes, bunch of marbles, hitting the wall at the back. They're going to do that, aren't they? What if I told you that ain't what they do? This is where it gets fucking weird. So, what the detector actually shows when they fire these marble electrons through these two slits. So again, this is, just imagine that's a two slit here as well. So they're firing through these two slits. What actually happens is this. A line there, 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 ad infinitum, continues on. What the fuck? What the fuck? Why? Why does that happen? There's two holes in a fucking wall. They're chucking effectively balls through those holes. And for some reason we get this. Lots and lots of lines. And as I say, that would continue forever. Why does it do that? This is where it gets, bearing in mind as well, let me just remind you. So this electron gun is like firing loads like an MG42. Once they saw this pattern, they said, hang on, what? All right, well, let's do it one at a time. And so they shot one single electron at a time. Where did it land? Right? Where'd that one land? That one's landed there. Guess what they got? They got this. It's called the interference pattern. And they got this even though they're only firing single electrons through the fucking wall. Now, it does get weirder. I'll make it weird now, fuck it. So, let's run the same experiment. Firing our gun, one at a time or loads, it doesn't seem to matter, and detecting what happens. But this time, we will put a camera right here that's looking at the slits. And as they fire one of the marble electrons, they want the camera to tell them which one has it gone through. So they're trying to detect it before it hits the detector. They're trying to figure out where it is going. Which slit does it go through before it gets there? Turn the camera on, run the experiment again. It does this. Why? Fucking why? Just repeat. When that camera is not switched on, it's not trying to find out which slit it goes through. All it's doing, the only information they're collecting is where the electron hits, or the marble hits. That's it. When they do that, it does this. The interference pattern. When they turn the camera on, looking at those slits, it does this. Which is what you would expect of single bits of matter going through two fucking holes in the wall. What that means, and again, wrap your fucking head around this. I don't think I have still, but no one has. Not even quantum mechanics, physicists, quantum mechanicists. Not even studies of quantum mechanics and theorizers know why. When you're looking at reality, it's there. When you're not looking at reality, it's probably not there. It's everywhere. It's absolutely everywhere. And let me explain what that means again. And it's all fucked up. This is all fucked up. You got to get on board with this fucked up, weird shit that's going on. So let me explain that as quick as possible. So if you dropped this ball, it's a pebble, into a pond. So this here is water now, and we're looking from above. You drop that in the pond. You obviously expect the ripples to spread out around the where you dropped it, of course. If you dropped another one over here at the same time as you drop this one, they're both going to be doing this, having their rippling and ting. Excuse my wonderful spheres, right? But both of these waves, ripples, are eventually going to hit each other like this. So you can see now these waves are rippling with each other. And if you put that in a bit of an easier way, so there's your pebble, and as it drops, we're just going to cut it in half. The waves are coming out this way, right? Blast. Let me try and make that better. So the waves are coming out this way. And then if we look at the other one again, so we'll put the other one over here. This one is doing the same thing. In fact, let me get that closer. Let's say we drop the pebble closer to here. Right, and now the waves are there interjecting and interfering with each other. Right, so yeah, we're dropping a load of pebbles at once at exactly the same time, and this is what it gives us. Okay, so you can see the waves are interfering with each other. And what happens with that is, obviously a wave is like that. If you look at it, up, down. And if you've got a down on one and an up on another and an up on another, these bits cancel out. They cancel each other out. Instead of the wave being like this or like this, of course, they're like this. So at these areas, there's nothing. It's cancelled out. But here, this shit will hit something. It will register as being a wave, a peak or a trough. So when you look at the interference pattern, line, what it means is this is being caused by waves interfering with each other. It is the only explanation for getting this pattern. The only explanation to having, instead of seeing this through two slits, we see this. That's because the waves are interfering with each other. And again, now this is it. It means the electron, all the shit you're made up of, all the particles, molecules even, are known to do this. All of that shit is a wave until you look at it. It's what's called a wave of possibility. It's a wave function. You remember Schrodinger's cat? Everyone's had that. Put a cat in the box, close the lid, you have no fucking clue if he's alive or dead. It's also complicated with like a vial of a half-life of poison, but whatever. You don't know if the cat is going to die or if it's still alive, or if it's both. Until you open the box and have a look, then you know it's one or the other. That's what's happening here. Until you look at it, it's everywhere. It's saying the marbles are going through both slits at the same time. That's the only explanation, because they're firing single marbles, single electrons through. They're going through both at the same time as waves and then interfering with each other like that. So if these here are the slits, these are the two slits, right? And only one electron is supposedly going to go through either one, but it doesn't. It goes through both as a wave, interferes with itself, and eventually when it's registered, it marks it. You see where it landed. So again, let me simply, everything is a wave of possibility. Everything. These electrons could be anywhere. They could be the other side of the universe. They could be here today. They could be fucking anywhere at all at the same time. Which gives to the idea that everything is connected. Everything is connected. The universe, fucking us with trees, us with plants, fungus, aliens, extraterrestrials, even technology, whatever. We're all sharing the same universe, the same world. And at the subatomic level, that's what's going on. You're not there until someone's looking at you. You said, Dave? No. Turn to your left. Oh, fuck, there he is. He wasn't there a second ago. He was just wandering about as a wave until you looked at him and go, oh, there he is. That's fact. Shit's not there until you look at it. That's proven with this. And they have taken this experiment so far with like, let's bounce it off a bunch of mirrors, bounce two, see if we can get them, see if we can detect it that way. Nothing they can try will ever give them anything but the interference pattern. Or if they're looking anywhere, they get this. So I just wanted to let you know that's how reality fundamentally works. It's called the wave function. Again, everything's a wave until it is observed, you could say. Everything's a wave till it's observed. That's what's going on at the subatomic level. So when I say go back and look at the first one, and me talking about 3D printing shit from nothing, just like I said, E equals mc squared, energy and mass is pretty much the same thing. They're interchangeable. So if you took like 3 milligrams of you could probably blow up the fucking solar system or something. I don't know. But yeah, so if you haven't, go back and have a look at it and just think, well, hang on, if reality actually works like that, if shit isn't there until you look at it, if that's how actually nature works, and nature knows when you're watching, that's proven with that. For some reason, nature knows you are trying to find out an answer, and it goes, fuck you, I'm doing what the fuck I please. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. Wicked, cool. Yeah, it's fucking awesome. It's crazy, but it's awesome. Okay, guys. Oh, yeah, I'm enjoying this. I've never had much of a reason to talk about how awesome this shit is, and now I do because aliens are here.